If this is the first time you're listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show, please remember to subscribe and click on the like button. Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the six figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information. Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. I am your host, Lucy McMonagle. Women are recreating the rules for business, leadership, money, and they are changing the world in the process. Each week, join me for empowering messages and interviews that will inspire, motivate, and transform you. Giving a special shout out to Gordon Weary for creating the custom music that you are listening to now. Now, let's get started. Hi there, I'm Lucy McMonagle, the Mystic Wealth Creator, and I mentor mystic entrepreneurs to create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation so that they can make a big impact in the world and leave a legacy. I truly believe that when we accept our mystic powers and use them as entrepreneurs, we will accelerate and transform the world, bringing about more peace, more harmony, and freedom from hunger and war. Today we have another episode of the Wealthy Wednesday show, and I have an incredible guest who is going to knock your socks off. She is an intuitive brand strategist, and she's an award-winning writer. Her name is Gina Hussar, and she is also a speaker. She has built a successful company based on the belief that a blend of spirit and strategy is the key to success. Gina helps entrepreneurs connect their own DNA, divine natural attributes, and shows them how to create a powerful, profitable expression of those gifts to share with the world. Gina, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show.
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm happy to be here.
Wow, you are so incredible. You help individuals, entrepreneurs to focus on alignment and integration. And you've also worked with some of the top coaches in the world and in the personal development field. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how did you end up doing what you're doing?
It was a windy path, that's for sure. When I came into this online space, my goal was to work in spirituality and personal development. I was a certified Reiki healer and a certified mindset coach. But I was in this group and somebody heard that I was a writer and that I had a background in magazines. And they said, well, can you help me with my copywriting? And I said, sure. And I did it, and it just took off from there. So I ended up building a business that was completely different than I had intended. And now it's coming full circle. You know, there's a shift happening, and it's we're all feeling it. There's a move towards alignment and integration where the strategies that have worked for years and years aren't working anymore. And it's because alignment is becoming the most lucrative business strategy out there. And, this industry needs to catch up, and we need to recognize the fact that this is what consumers want. This is what the audience wants. They want authenticity. They want us expressing our gifts in our own way. And that's really what it's evolved into. We went from being spirituality to straight up strategy and content and copy to finally coming full circle and blending the two.
Wow. Wow, that's really important, and especially these days because we are having so many individuals that want to be able to express their true authenticity and through their branding. Can you tell us a little bit more on and explain the importance of this brand alignment that deals with the spirituality as we're growing for the individuals?
Well, I'm a big believer that there's no separation between your business and yourself, right? I mean, um, we are it. We are our work. We are our purpose. And one of the things that is so important to me is is the concept that your worth and your value cannot be proven, right? It can't come up in data. It can't be proven. It can only be experienced subjectively. So whatever you feel about yourself is what you're embodying. What you're embodying is what you're projecting. What you're projecting is how you're experienced. So the more we can all fully embody our gifts and our truths, the more we project that. And that's when we really find our tribe, so to speak. That's where we really find the people who are meant to be in our awareness, who are meant to be our clients, our friends, our significant others. It has to start with truth. So our goal always in helping entrepreneurs is to get them to unlearn a lot of what they learn, get them to put down the shoulds and the strategies that are must-haves of the moment. I've had a lot of people say to me, well, I have to do video. Video is converting high. I built a six-figure business without ever doing a video because I don't like to do video. It doesn't resonate with me. It's really hard for me. That's not to say I won't. That's one way I want to try to stretch myself. But my point is, you build in a way that feels aligned and authentic to you, and the money follows, the impact follows, the clients follow. And making sure that your site is something you love. I know people who don't promote their work because they have website shame, and the only reason they have that feeling is because their brand at every touch point isn't lining up with who they really are. They might have a great looking site strategically that has all the right bells and whistles, but if it's not aligned with who they are, they're going to have a really hard time standing behind it and promoting it. So integrating yourself with your gifts, with strategies that feel good to you is really the secret sauce.
That is so important. And speaking of the secret sauce and really starting to be in alignment, because you can have an incredibly beautiful website, but if you're not in alignment, your tribe can't see you. They don't recognize you because they can feel that's off. And to be more in alignment, are you specifying that helps increase income and an impact? Can you explain that to us?
Absolutely. One of the things I've always said is there's no business like flow business. Like you have to stay in flow. That's where the creative genius comes out. That's where you're able to just talk and teach and write and create content from a place of authenticity and alignment. And that's the goal. That's the stuff that really gets to people's heart and souls and wakes them up and makes them want to work with you. And, I've had people who have made a killing following the strategies that are being sold to them, and that's great, but they can't sustain it because it doesn't feel good to them. So, and my mentor, Kat Laterzo, Katrina Ruth, she's going by now, said to me, it doesn't matter how big of a game you're playing if it's the wrong game. And that's so true. You have to be building your business in a way that is sustainable. And anything that is out of alignment with your truth isn't sustainable. You'll suffer from spirit fatigue. You'll burn out. You'll energetically push clients away. I went through that myself. When I started, when I went through a divorce last year, and I really started to think about the way my business was running, and am I doing too much? Do I need to delegate more? What's going on? But I really felt myself, I would get a new client inquiry, and whereas some people would be like, yes, I got a new client, I would be like, I can't handle anymore, so I really realized that, the way I was feeling about client attraction and client fulfillment needed to shift, because I was energetically pushing people away. And that's something that, you have to be careful of. You do it without even realizing it. And I actually had one of my mentors who's a really skilled healer say to me, you are realizing that the more zeros you have after your paycheck, the more zeros you have in your expenses, right? So a lot of people think they want this big business until they start realizing some of the stuff that comes with it. And that's kind of where I got to, so then it's about stripping it back, going back to basics, what feels good, what doesn't. So that's a process. It's a lot easier to begin in alignment than having to deconstruct and rebuild and go back to it. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. And you were saying that a business that goes is a business in flow, which is an alignment, which helps you create more impact and more money. Can you explain to us what are the very first steps of individuals who might be out of alignment in areas? How do they get back into the flow?
That's a big question. I can only say what works for me. And right. What works for me is I am fiercely committed to my truth. And my truth isn't always popular. I learned to take stock every single day, what feels good, what doesn't. I get up an hour before my kids, and most of the time they let me without interruption. And I journal every single day. What's feeling good? What's not? What's the most aligned action I can take today? Those three things every day. And I learned one day it was stop working after 3 p.m. So now I don't. And I put that in my client contract. I don't want to work when my kids are home, period. And for some people in different time zones, that doesn't work for them. They need me at 9 o'clock at night, my time. And you just learn to let go of your attachment to all of that stuff. And I also learned that I see this a lot with my clients. We delay our income because we are waiting for everything to be perfect, right? I can't put out this program because the PowerPoint slides aren't done. It's an 8-module program and I'm waiting till all 8 modules are done. And that's crazy. Whereas if you're operating in flow, you're putting something out there the second it is divinely whispered to you, because that's when you're most excited about it. That's when you can stand behind it with the most power, and you create it as you go. Right? We delay that income, and then we delay the inspiration, and then we delay the transformation we can make for other people. And really asking every day, what's the most aligned action I can take? That's flow. And sometimes the most aligned action is write the sales page, and sometimes it's close the laptop and have lunch with your friend. And it all leads to income, because the more balanced and aligned you feel, the better you show up, the more impact you make, the more people stick around. It kind of is this ripple effect of the good stuff that we all want.
Wow. And that's so important to really ask yourself, what's the most aligned thing that I can do today?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
and then to important. Really listen to it, even if the most aligned thing, this happened to me just the other day, the most aligned thing was do nothing. Do nothing. And my ego and my left brain said, but this is a work day. My kids are with my mother. I could get so much done. Do nothing. And I didn't. I shut my laptop down. I didn't answer calls. I read a book, and what ended up happening was the book I read had one quote in it that ended up being the launching pad for an entire sales page I needed to write. So it's funny how flow works. If you follow it, you're going to get those little gifts, those little rewards for following the flow that again, that will manifest into income.
That's so true. And a lot of individuals, they try to push themselves when they first start their business. They want to work 7 days a week. And I was guilty of this when I first launched this business, and it doesn't work. So being in flow is for me is to take a day off. I take Fridays off, and Fridays are my flow day. And I don't work on Fridays normally. I'll do a few things here and there if I feel aligned to do it. And since then, my income has skyrocketed from working less hours and really taking a day for flow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do that in my personal life too. You know, I used to say yes to things and stick with them even when I really was dreading them or whatever. And I have no problem, you know, if the most aligned action is stay home, I have no problem canceling a dinner and saying, I'm just, this is just what the moment is asking. I'm not up for it. And I've been able to let go of needing to make an excuse and being able to say, this is just what my soul needs today, right? This is just how I roll. I don't work after 3. That's just how I roll. That's just how it is. You really, when you start following your truth, yeah, there are going to be people that you lose, but you'll attract the people that are meant to be in your life, in your business.
Wow, that is definitely a writer downer. That's really important to really understand that not being attached, being in the flow, following the alignment, and some people, they will fall at the wayside because you are growing and living your truth. And when other people can't live their truth to be around you, then that doesn't resonate with them.
Well, it doesn't, and nobody gets the best of you. You know, how many times, even just in a personal moment, somebody has said, "Oh, we should meet for coffee," and you're thinking, "Oh, I really don't want to spend an hour of my time with this person," and yet out of your mouth comes, "Yeah, we should do that." It's total misalignment. Your intuition told you did not want to go to coffee with this person, but we speak the opposite, and you know and then that day comes and you're dreading it and you wish you couldn't go and you're thinking, you're hoping they cancel, and all that energy when all you had to say was something like, yeah, you know, I'm really busy right now, but maybe someday we can work that out, and then it's done. There's no energy going to how you could possibly get out of it, you know? So I really believe that living in alignment, living from your truth, is an energy preserver too. It lets you free up that energy to give to your kids, your loved ones, your creativity, whatever, yourself. Yeah, and you find out very quickly who your circle is, who your true circle is.
That's so true. Absolutely. I've discovered that in the past. And when you really find out who your true circle is, sometimes it absolutely surprises you.
Yeah. And that's hard. You know, you will. I had some hard surprises, people that I thought I was going to be friends with forever that, you know, when I started getting a little more strong in my convictions and in my truth, it pushed their buttons. But that's okay. That's okay. Your truth will never misguide you. It is the GPS that always works. That's true for business, for your love life, for your friends, for your parenting. Your truth will never misguide you. And I really believe that that's a tough lesson, especially when you're starting out as an entrepreneur. It's really easy to buy into what everybody else is doing, what the 7-figure coaches are doing, what everybody else is promoting, and take the things that resonate. There are certainly best practices, but really make sure it is aligned with your truth, or you will end up wasting money on things that fall completely flat. Thousands of dollars I've seen people throw away because they bought a strategy that will never align with their personality and their preferences and the way they love to work and teach. It's crazy.
That's so true. And there's some individuals that their alignment is fast. They're, as soon as they just get an idea, they're just and they're like very fast. And there's other ones that are dependent on your human design. They're waiting for the invite because they have to respond rather than jump. And you have to really understand what is alignment for you. Is your alignment, are you the starter, or are you the responder, or how you actually follow your intuition and follow your GPS?
I really feel that learning how your intuition speaks and being able to hear it and listen to it, I truly believe that is the most lucrative business strategy that every single one of us has at our disposal. I believe it can save us time. I believe it can save us thousands of dollars. I believe it can make us thousands of dollars. That's step one. Anything I would recommend is learn how your intuition speaks. Start by journaling and writing down whatever comes and not judging it, and then actually following it. And you'll start to see how well it works, and then you'll get hooked.
Absolutely. Yes, that's so true. And can you tell us a little bit on how do you help entrepreneurs at different stages of the game?
Yeah, so typically when somebody comes in, it's either because they're just starting out or they've been in business for a little while and have fallen out of alignment. You know, it's starting to feel hard. It's starting to feel like a drudgery. And so we typically give people what we call the Soulful Brand Identity Map, which is essentially a workbook that gets you thinking about your brand and helps us understand your goals for your brand and for how you want people to experience you. And then we take a look. We usually bring people in what we call our Align and Define session. And Align and Define is not for the faint of heart, because we will go to what you have and we'll take a look at your entire brand, your site, your offerings, and we will find the gaps. And usually it's a gap in clarity, a gap in strategy, or an all-out gap in alignment. And really closing those gaps and saying, okay, what is an alignment? And recognizing that maybe you've hit the six-figure mark, but who you are at six figures and who you are at day one are two completely different people, right? So as you evolve, as your business evolves, your message evolves, your purpose evolves, and you have to evolve with it in order to powerfully stand behind and promote your work, in order to get affiliate partners to believe in you and promote your work. So we really go through and we look at visuals, we look at language, we look at the brand ladder. Are there tiered offerings? Does one seamlessly sell into the other? Do they make sense? Is your site in line with your social media platform? Does it all look like the same business? So those are the things we look at, and then we really get to the core of what needs to happen. So it's basically a diagnostic session, and then we actually get to work. Once we find that where the bleeding is, we actually get to work stopping it and rewriting and, redoing the aesthetics and really making sure it's something that they can be proud of.
Wow. And that's really important, especially when we are starting to move into a period where people want more alignment, they want more authenticity, and they also want you, because if you're not giving you in your business and you're not allowing that, like you were mentioning earlier, that energetic pushing people away, then you have to be able to realign. And sometimes it can be uncomfortable. And you also look at the different programs and how do they make sense? Is it a 3-tier? Is it a 4-tier? How does that work in your business? And how does that feel with you, so that you can seamlessly be one brand all the way across in social media and in your website?
Well, and it's about making sure you actually want what you're building. I mean, it's really easy to get caught up in watching what the big coaches are doing or the big speakers and feeling like you have to do it too. And that maybe you worship at a church other than Infusionsoft or whatever the big thing of the moment is. Nothing against Infusionsoft. It's awesome. But the point is, we get so distracted by the shiny objects and we think we have to have them. But what ends up happening is we spend thousands of dollars to build a business that's a cookie cutter business that looks just like the person who sold us whatever we bought, and yet blending in and looking the same online as the kiss of death, right? The people like JP Sears and you know, the people who are just totally in flow, not giving a hoot about what anyone thinks of them, they are crushing it because people are they're catching people's eye in a news feed that's just ad after ad after ad about client attraction. Things that are authentic and unique and real, that's the stuff that's going to get people's attention and get them to click, right? And
Yes.
it's like sort of reverse NLP, whereas the pattern interrupts used to be so intentional. Now the only thing you have to do to get people's attention is be yourself. In a sea of people who are constructing copycat cookie cutter strategies, just being yourself is sometimes the easiest way to grow your business and make money.
Yes, and that's so important. So can you tell us now, be yourself is really important. And can you tell us some of the most important things that we need to remember when we're starting to be ourselves, be more in alignment, and create the copy and content?
Yeah, you know, I think that it's really important that you speak to your audience the way you speak in real life. If you swear in real life, swear to your audience, right? Because what's going to happen is if you are careful not to swear in your marketing and they buy something from you and they're in your world and they hear you swear every other word, they're going to be confused, right? Who is this person? She didn't swear. And it's something so small like that that creates confusion and mistrust. So be who you are from beginning to end. It makes them comfortable with you. It helps them self-select as a part of your tribe. And also, pay attention to every touch point. You know, there are a lot of templated, you know, you opt in for somebody's free gift, you get a templated thank you for, you know, thank you for opting in for the download. Here's your download, confirm your address. It's so bland, right? Every opportunity like that is an opportunity to reinforce your brand. So your thank you email, your client contract, it should all be unique to you in your voice with your visuals. I don't know how much time we have, but I opted in for something the other day that was of a spiritual nature. And I got a thank you email that said something like, the sun was brighter today and the birds were singing a little more beautifully and the sky was so blue and I couldn't figure out where all this beauty was coming from. And then it hit me. You're here. You're in the community now. And it was just like, it was so different from the templated confirm your subscription that it made me remember that company. And then I started looking at their other stuff because it was so different. And, you know, that's something to remember. Every single thing, your social media platforms, your thank you emails, your client agreements, your package list, it's an opportunity for you to speak in your brand voice and draw in the people who are meant to be with you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Gina, we're just about ready to wrap it up. Is there anything else that you would like to leave with the audience, or is there any way that they can get more of you?
You know, I think just it's so easy for us all, even myself, to get caught up in how do I sell? How do I sell more? How do I get more clients? How do I do this? I hate selling. It's so hard. And one of the best things I ever read, and I wish I remember who, someone either said it to me or I read it, and I can't remember who, but it was a huge shift for me. And that was the fact that selling and marketing is nothing more than a transfer of enthusiasm. And that was such a huge shift for me because you don't have to sell. You don't have to have sales calls, right? You are doing nothing more than talking passionately about the work you love to do. That's it. Just like you would recommend an amazing restaurant or an amazing book to a friend, that's all sales are. Oh my God, I have this amazing thing and I want to tell you about it. I want to share it with you. That's it, right? And when you can make that shift, you stop hating selling. You don't even sell. You're just sharing your enthusiasm and your passion, and people are saying, oh, that sounds really good. Give me some of that. And that's about it. I think that's a big shift. Stay in alignment, follow your truth. It's your best GPS, it's your best compass. Ask yourself every day, what's the most aligned action that I can take? And I mean, we have a bunch of stuff on ginahussar.com if anyone wants to look at that. The Align and Define session is on there also. And my door is open. I think it's an important conversation to have. And I really do believe that alignment is the key to sustainable success.
Absolutely. So your website is your name. It's Gina Hussar, GinaHussar.com.
Yeah.
And you have Align and Define your multi-purpose entrepreneurs who are ready to confidently create a purpose-driven brand. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep, that's exactly right.
Wow, Gina, that's really, really generous. And I'm so grateful you are on the Wealthy Wednesday show and you are helping individuals to become more in alignment with not only their business, their brand, with their copy and their writing, but to be in alignment with their selves and their GPS, their inner GPS, because that's really where the gold is when you're in alignment with your inner self, your outer world reflects it.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I want to thank my audience. You are the reason why I put together the Wealthy Wednesday show every single week. I am so grateful for you. And I really would love it if you are listening to this on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button, put comments below, and let me know what type of information you would like me to have, what kind of topics, so that I can find the experts, or what experts you would like me to interview. So again, hit the subscribe button and let me know, how do you like this? So until next time, have a beautiful and phenomenal week. Abundant blessings.
Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the 6 figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information. Thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday Show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. I am the Mystic Wealth Creator, a mentor for conscious women entrepreneurs, helping them create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation. I would love to extend to you a free gift. And all you need to do is go to my website at lucymcmonagle.com. That's LucyMcmonagle.com to get your free gift. So until next time, abundant blessings.